Hi, everyone. My name is Shawn Jones, and I'm the CEO of the iNetrapreneur Network. And today I have with me an incredible, dynamic woman. She helps people look their best from head to toe, inside out. She is a business owner. She works with individuals as well as entrepreneurs. She will also be an expert on our upcoming panel, Art of Connection event. Lynn Ilnitsky, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome, Shawn. It's really nice to see you. It's been a while.
It has been. And, I love what you do. I know on a personal level, you've helped me. I am one of your clients, and I have taken and absorbed all of your advice and information that you've provided me over the years. But I always love to have our guest explain a little bit about their background before we dive into what you actually do for people. So take us on a quick journey, Mary Lynn, a little bit about your background, and then bring us through to what you do today.
Oh, okay. Well, as you know, I'm one of 6 children, the oldest daughter, and I'm a baby boomer. So that comes with a whole bunch of stuff, as you probably are well aware. But I was really fortunate. I was raised here in Edmonton, Alberta, and actually I was raised in Calgary, but live in Edmonton, Alberta, in Canada. And I went to university here in Edmonton, and I took a Bachelor of Science degree in clothing and textiles, which was part of the home economics faculty. And that led me on a journey to working with people in many different ways, but all within the realm of that dynamic. And the thing that's interesting about home economics is that it's a study of how people relate to their near and far environments. So when you think about clothing, that's one of the top necessities of life: food, clothing, shelter. So having that background in clothing and then taking it to working in the sales industry with a line of clothes directly to consumer and then into the image industry has really fit into that niche of my educational background, and then of course the expansion of lifelong learning. And so I've been doing this for, I've been working with clothing and with people and in image for well over 30 years.
Now, you are an image consultant, and there's a difference between being a consultant and a stylist. What is the difference between the two?
Well, a stylist is someone who can go and find you an outfit to wear to an event, or can style you for a photo shoot using clothing that they may have picked up for you, whether they're shopping for you and you're purchasing those clothes, or whether they're buying clothing for you to use for a specific purpose and then, taking it back or borrowing it from someone who has a collection of clothes that they rent out for that purpose. An image consultant is someone who works within a framework and a concept. And really, I feel like from my perspective, I'm an educator. I teach my clients what to do, how to dress more effectively, what colors to wear that are going to light them up, lines of clothing that are going to be most successful on their physical form. How they present themselves visually is certainly very much a personality thing. And lifestyle really impacts this, because when we have clothes in our closet that fit where we spend our time, it's really remarkable how much you wear those clothes. And then you don't have this massive amount of things that you never wear, but you wear the clothes that you have because you know where you're going to be spending your time in them. So it's an educational background or an educational experience to work with an image consultant. And the education is quite significantly different too.
Mm-hmm. I know my personal experience with you, Mary Lynn. You had me bring some of my articles of clothing that I wear on a regular basis and in different categories, because, I have my stage, I have, business casual to, just everyday wear. And you even wanted to know my makeup color palette, and we discussed even the shades of my hair, because while I'm a natural, over time, I had to get a little bottle color in there to boost. And that was my experience. And what I appreciated was you didn't just go over the colors, but you took into account my body shape. And, especially as women, sometimes we do kind of proportion ourselves depending on, what age we're in, or if we've had kids or no kids. Sometimes gravity takes a toll in different areas. When you work with clients, what is a standard? How do you work with your clients? I know my personal experience, but share with us what you normally do with others.
Well, typically I work with someone and we do look at that color framework, that color palette that's going to highlight their natural coloring, because we all have a genetic and a racial background that that impacts our personal coloring, and that's basically the foundation of building a functional and effective wardrobe, is to wear the colors that are the most complementary to what Mother Nature gave you, your skin, hair, and eye tones. So when you've got that organized, and the palettes are in a kind of a wallet form like this. And so within each palette, there are many colors that can be worn. But the thing that's really neat about this is that any color in here coordinates with all the other colors. So especially with these neutrals, which are really the backbone of our wardrobes. And, we've gotten so much more casual in the last 20 years or so. So all these neutrals would be in, maybe a pair of nice dress pants or a black pencil skirt, or our jeans and our chinos and shorts and things like that. But all of these colors in here coordinate with those. And then all of a sudden you have all sorts of happy little accidents happen. And as you can see, I'm using it effectively. So that's the color part. And then we look at, as you said, the physical shape and your proportions. And how do we highlight your assets and disguise the parts of you that you're not all that enamored with? And you can certainly use the lines of clothing to accomplish that very easily, because clothing has always been about building illusions, and that you can do the most amazing things with the clever use of line and design in an item of clothing. The third thing that I work with people on is that personality part. Who do you like to show up as? Some of us are more dramatic, some are more classic. We've got the naturals and the romantics, and they all bring a different approach to clothing to the table. Where you spend your time, as I said early, or I've said to you before, there's no point in having a closet full of ball gowns if you don't go to the ball. So you need to have balance. And when you wear the colors that work for you, when the clothes fit you effectively and you feel good in them, when they suit your clothing personality and fit into your lifestyle, then you've achieved a sense of balance in your wardrobe. And that's really important, because I think we get caught up in wanting to have more and more and more because we don't know what we're doing. And when you know what you're doing, you become more discerning and much more selective about the clothes that you purchase. And you may not need to purchase as many, and you wear the clothes you have instead of having things in your closet that don't have a purpose.
My mom is an excellent example of one of those women who will go out and she'll buy. And when I come over and I go through her closet, I feel like I'm at one of the department stores because they still have the tags on them. And yet she only wears a small amount of her closet. So it's really incredible. I'm more of a minimalist. I don't like to have tons of clothes. So what I do have, I like to be able to dress up, dress down. It's easier on the pocketbook, saves space. I feel like that I'm being more earth conscious too. So it's all about blending and, maybe adding a few accessories to dress up, dress down. I like to tend to go for more of the wild colors, but then when I'm, not interviewing and I'm not working with people, I like to tend to more soft tones. So it matches my personality. So I have my day personality and then my at home nighttime personality. And it's interesting how clothes and color can help you. They set the moods too.
Indeed, they do, very much so. And we have to recognize that the textile and clothing industry, since we've globalized things significantly over the last 20 years, is very damaging to our environment. And, part of the role I have as a home economist and in that role is a look at the sustainability of people's closets and how they can be more conscientious about their decisions. I think, vote with your feet. It's the ripple effect. You make a different decision about how you want to approach this part of your life and think more conscientiously or consciously about what the impact is, then, that's one person, one more person. And it's kind of a mission of mine to, I really want to encourage and empower and educate people about this part of their lives so that they don't waste their time or their resources on clothes, that they have extra money to go travel or do when we can travel again or do something different. I don't think, I know there are a lot of people who are really strapped, and a lot of it is because they indulge in consumerism, and clothing is really one of those things that you can just all of a sudden it adds up and boom. And then, as you say, your mom has a closet full of clothes with price tags on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
that's what I like to try and get my people, the people I work with, and help to avoid and to be really conscientious about how they approach this part of their lives. The other part of that is once you've got this nailed down, you don't think about it. Would you agree with that? You just
I
get
com-
dressed in the morning and you go and you don't worry about how you look. You just feel like you're fine. And it takes one stressor out of the day, right off the bat.
It really does. And I'm not one that pre-plans my wardrobe. I wake up in the morning and what do I feel that I want to go with? And I grab it. It's easy. I don't have to stand there in my closet and go, well, what about these two? What about this? What about that? I just pluck it, put it on, and good to go.
Yeah.
That's me. I like it nice and easy and simple. Mary Lynn, when somebody is looking to hire an image consultant like yourself, what are a few key questions that they should be asking to identify if that is the right person for them?
Well, I think the philosophy and the philosophy of practice that the individual image consultant espouses. Certainly, education is a really important part of it. I really feel that the courses that are available to become an image consultant are pretty intensive. Some of them are up to 2 weeks every day, from 9 till 6 every day. Those kinds of programs. The one I took, I did twice, once one-on-one with an individual, and it was 5 days. And then I went to Memphis and worked with the new owner of the company that I certified with and sort of helped her a little bit, but just reinforced and really solidified the knowledge that I had gleaned from the first time. So that education part is really important. And I think asking if they have a certification is really important, or if they're involved or a part of the American Institute of Image Consultants, the AICI. I am not a member of that because there's so few of us here in Western Canada that I don't feel it's a body that I need to be associated with. But in the United States, I think it's really important because it is an association that does credential and register image consultants. I am a professional home economist. I have right to title to that professional body. And that's what I use to sort of give myself cred, I guess. And along with that certification in the image industry. And I'm not only certified to be an image consultant, but I'm also certified to instruct so that I can instruct other people who may be interested. And I have had one young lady who's here in Edmonton do the color system through the company that I certified with. And it's really nice to have her here because there's two of us ordering color palettes, not just one, from all the way from Memphis, Tennessee, which is where our head office is. She's great. She's just awesome. So, and it's really neat because we have, I think across the board within the industry, we have very collegial relationships with each other. We're not necessarily competitors. We are, but we're not. And, the women I know who are in the industry here in Edmonton, we're friends and we talk to each other. It's really neat.
Wonderful. Mary Lynn, if somebody would like to contact you about your consulting, how can they connect with you?
Well, the best way I think is just to reach out on either Facebook or LinkedIn. My website right now is under construction and I'm not really sort of pointing people in that direction. Get Dressed on Purpose. Google my business, Get Dressed on Purpose. Or you can email me, marylynn@getdressedonpurpose.com.
Mary Lynn, I want to thank you so much for helping me personally. That was huge. I want to thank you so much for being one of our panel experts and taking time out of your schedule today to share your expert knowledge and give some guidance on how a style consultant can really make a difference in someone's life. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. It was great to see you. Good to visit with you.
Same here.